Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. We want to take a look at the daily chart here first, and we go and take a look at the shorter time frame. Let me know in the comments, please, if you want me to cover the weekly chart as well in one of the next videos, because there are some scenarios that we could discuss in terms of next bear market maybe, or even scenarios, what happens if we break below this 43k level. I could show all of that on the weekly chart, but then I would make a dedicated video on the weekly. So let me know if you like to see that in one of the next videos. Also, not to miss that, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Let's take a look here at the daily chart first though. Here not much has changed. We're still in this, you could say sideways range, in this quite strong correction. And it's been taking forever. It started in March, and we are dealing here with this WXY structure, or larger ABC rather. And in this scenario, I'm watching for a potential move down into the support region. Doesn't need to happen. Okay, this wave 4 was already substantial enough to be considered complete. That could have been the case here on the 5th of August. The overall correction, yes, sure, could be complete. But I need to see more evidence, as we said before, as I said, basically throughout the entire month of August. The structure, since that low, is extremely fragile. It is not impulsive to the upside. We can consider a diagonal pattern, which would also be potentially bullish, but less clearly bullish. We won't be able to trust it. It will likely change a lot. That's what these diagonal patterns do. And the diagonal pattern has a high failure rate. So with a diagonal, that would be the white wave count, and it could drive us to 70k. But really only once I see this 5-wave pattern complete, maybe even further into the 70k region, in 5 waves, I have a good confirmation that wave 4 bottomed. If that's the case, we can say, okay, we're probably heading to new all-time highs, 90 to 100k. But this 5-wave move could be complete. We're now watching for the next pullback, which can again take many weeks before a 3rd wave rally starts. This is what we need to see to really confirm the bullish count. And however, already above 65k, the bearish, short-term bearish, yellow scenario will reduce in likelihood. Okay, so that's a break above this yellow B wave top. Because in the yellow scenario, the wave 4, the larger wave 4 that started in March, is pretty much still unfolding. And it's just a more complex WXY structure and not an A, B, C in the white count. So this WXY would indicate that we are now in the Y wave. And within this Y wave, we're also dealing with an A, B, C structure. And if we're in a C wave, then we are waiting for the start of a 3rd wave. And this 3rd wave could be quite aggressive. So that's what I'm watching for this week. The only way to really invalidate it is a break above 65k. There are further levels that, if broken to the upside, would reduce the likelihood for this yellow scenario, but a break above 65k is needed. In that case then, yes, the B wave could still stretch higher, but a break above the X wave high, which is located here at 70k, would make it even less likely. And above 65k, the immediate setup is invalidated. Okay, this 1-2 setup to the downside is invalidated. Yeah, sure, it could always be a B wave as long as it's only a 3-wave move up. Okay, that's why we need the 5 waves to really rule out a B wave. But yeah, it can always reset the B wave higher. But the thing is, we need to invalidate the immediate 1-2 setup, because we had a 5-wave move down from the, I think it was the 25th of August high. And that gives us a directly bearish setup. Now, of course, it can be invalidated. I mean, it's not set in stone. And invalidation of the same would be a signal. That would be a signal that we can use to shift probabilities, or to determine, or let's say to identify how probabilities have shifted. Let's go and take a look at a smaller time frame. This is pretty much here this decline that I just mentioned in yellow wave 1 from the 25th of August high. There isn't really anything new here, So we've had a 5-wave move down, we had a 3-wave move up. Then I highlighted to you around the same time yesterday that this here was likely another 5-wave move down and a 3-wave corrective rally. 1-2-1-2 setup is possible. Here, this is a wave 2 resistance area. It's between 59,180 and 60,336. As I said, there are levels that will make the bearish setup less likely if we break above them. And a break above 60,336, above the initial resistance area, will make the direct pathway to the downside already less likely. However, it really takes a break above 65K to invalidate, because there is this immediate 1-2 setup. Okay, if we break above resistance, it could still be the larger wave 2. 1, 2. Okay, that's also possible with maybe even an overshooting B wave to the downside or an ending diagonal here, whatever. There are different ways how this could have developed, but that's not so important. I think this resistance area covers all of these scenarios, and it is between 61,366 and 63,430. So to keep it simple, there is one resistance area now to which the price already reacted, which shouldn't be a great surprise because this resistance area was mentioned yesterday. I covered it on Twitter. Also, make sure you follow us on Twitter for further updates. But this is the one that we talked about also yesterday here in the videos. So there has been an initial reaction. Now we need to see if that's a substantial reaction. If the price continues to push higher, the upper resistance area will become relevant. And if the bulls can drive the price above this one, well, then we're likely dealing with invalidation of the bearish setup, which would be further confirmed with a break above 65K. At the moment, I have a slightly bearish bias just because of these 5 wave movements to the downside and because we have 2 bearish setups on the chart. If they get invalidated, we have to readjust, right? We have to realign. That's pretty much it. It's all about realigning, right? We don't want to go with the bears here if the bears lose control. But the analysis tells us where and when the bears will likely lose control, and it would require a break above these resistance areas. Now, if we zoom in a little bit and take a look at the 30-minute chart, now the decline that happened from the intraday high looks a little bit like a 3-wave move down to me. So I would still keep the door open for higher. However, clearly there has been some downside pressure, and if the bulls now lose control and we see there has been a short-term rally, right? And if we see a break below the last swing low, 58,150, I think that would be a good indication that the 3rd wave to the downside has started. Already now, this wave 2 could be complete, I have to say it. It's just that I need further confirmation for that, like a 5-wave move down, followed by a 3-wave corrective rally. But the resistance area is certainly at the moment doing its job. That's the update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.